I want to welcome you to this exhibit at the Hain Museum in our Art and Heritage Place at St. Benedict's Monastery. And we have a very special exhibit this year. We are celebrating 80 years since our sisters first went to China, on a mission to China. And we feel it's an appropriate celebration to recognize that. Actually, they moved from China to Taiwan and even from there to Japan. But this exhibit is recognizing 80 years of living and working among the Chinese. When we go back to 1930, the community made a decision to accept the invitation from Rome to travel to China and begin to establish a Catholic university in China. And when our sisters were asked who wanted to volunteer to be part of this mission, over 100 sisters volunteered to go, and in the end, 6 of those 109 sisters were chosen to represent us, and this is our very first time to move into a foreign country in our missionary work. One of the important things to recognize, I think, is our intention was different from that of most communities. Evangelization wasn't our primary emphasis. And it's an important quote. Sister Donalda Terhar was one of the first of the 6 sisters to go, and she very clearly stated that rather than missionary work of conversion, the Benedictines looked upon establishment of the university as their service to the Chinese community. And that was very faithfully adhered to throughout our time in China. Education of Chinese girls and women was uppermost in their mind. In August of 1930, there was a blessing of the sisters who were our first pioneers in terms of doing foreign missionary work. And all the sisters gathered in chapel, had benediction, and then left the Sacred Heart Chapel, moving into our North Court area. And what we read in their journals for that time, there probably was hardly a dry eye in chapel, as these 6 sisters left and proceeded to leave the chapel and get into the cars and travel to the train station, which took them then to the West Coast, where they left out of Seattle to begin their foreign missionary work in China. This is an example. One of the things that they receive as part of their blessing and commissioning is a special missionary crucifix. And each of the sisters would have received one of these and wore it very religiously during their years in China. We have the 6 sisters. These are sketches that were made by Sister Ruth Niergarten. So these are the 6 women that left our community at that time. Sister Francetta Vetter was appointed superior of the group, and she did serve in that capacity during the whole years in China from 1930 to 1948. She was a woman from Sells, North Dakota, had been head of the Home Economics Department in the College of St. Benedict. And something that's very special about her is she really became the pioneer of our work in Peking, mainland China, in Kaifeng, mainland China, when we had to move there, and then in Tainan, Taiwan, when we moved there, and in Tokyo, Japan. So she is a founding missionary in 4 areas for our community. The other sisters, we'll do the 3 in the top row. The first one is Sister Regia Zenz, who was from South Dakota. She was the director of food service. And you'll note that all of these women were very well-prepared, trained women, most of them as teachers, and all of them having held important positions within the community. So Sister Raja was a very important person from the standpoint of establishing their home in China. The one in the middle is Sister Ronaine Gergen, who was from Wisconsin. She was an English teacher and absolutely revered wherever she was, mainly as a teacher, but as a community member. And then the one on the right is Sister Rachel Lulin, who was from Biwabik, Minnesota. That's her story takes a little bit different turn. She went in 1930, however, she died in 1937 in China as a result of a strep infection, and she is buried in mainland China. And then the remaining two, the one on the left is Sister Donalda Terhart, who was from New Munich, Minnesota, who was a foreign languages teacher in the college and at the high school level. And the one on the right is Sister Wibera Muhlenbein, who is also from Wisconsin, mathematics teacher, science teacher, very well qualified. She ended up giving, I believe it's 49 years of her life to missionary work.